right back into it again. This is week 10. Looks like a bunch of us need to get our games in, but online. Sooner Sim Network, for anybody who wants to join. We got about, I don't know, 8 guys, 9 guys in here. Anyway, I am up for another home game against the Colts. Episode 9.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Oakland Raiders. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
It is a building that first hosted football way back in 1966 as EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They're halfway home, looking good at a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best team in the NFL through the first half of the year.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
The shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the Stanford man. It's Andrew Luck.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win.
Check out! Green 80! 54, 54. They can't hang with us.
Play action. It's Luck. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. And here are the Colts offensive starters.
So let's all work together on this one because it's natural to just watch the football. But I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the 2 guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play. Plenty of opportunities to redeem themselves. They'll have to take advantage of that and start to make progress.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it. It really gets them amped up as they go forward.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Let's go!
Luck able to find Hilton there for a Colt first down.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. Third down conversion here is big. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
6-man.
Here's Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vontez perfect, showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. Getting into the act on the opening drive here with a sack, and remember, they had 5 last week.
And they saw that on film, and that meant that they had to get together. Offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, offensive line coach, receivers coach, and say, how do we beat this pressure? Because everyone has to win against the defense and get the ball in the hands of the quarterback very quickly.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. To throw is Love. Into the hands of his running back, Marlon Mack. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
In his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory.
Entering settings screen, you have 18 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected.
He's doing all the right things.
Well, we got 1 save, so we'll reload it and see what happens. And if I'll have to reboot it. I can't see the second clock or anything. Can't play like that.
Welcome back, everyone, to the NFL on EA Sports from Oakland, California. It's Raider football as we get back into the action in the first quarter. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. The first carry for DeAndre Washington. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. The numbers for Washington in last week's contest. The hat trick +1, 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him and feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Carr now to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Credit that sack to Jabal Sheard.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they got to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now.
No pressure, and down he goes. Lucas Sands. Khalil Mack in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Throwing is long. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Carr. Scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
280. Check pass. Check pass.
On first, here's Washington. Fighting through, he's got space. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. That one goes a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10, right at the 40. From the gun, it's Carr. Flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Mike down. 180. Focus, defense, focus.
On first down, it's Washington. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Anthony Walker in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
808.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. It's Williams on the catch. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, of that marker. So here's the kicker, Caleb Sturgis, on to try the field goal. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
After the made field goal, Seibert back out there to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our mind?
Now a hit and lost the football. It's out, and the Raiders pick it up. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Caleb Sturgis now for the point after. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it. But you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Luck, and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack, and he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. A look at the numbers for Mack from last week. 20 carries, 60 yards.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. When you're down early, how do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit, and find our way back into this game.
16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Stay with your man. We played
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down to Marlon Mack. And he will force his way forward for a yard or 2, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to go.
They go play action here on 1st down. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the gun, here's Love. connection with Devin Funchess. And it'll bring up third down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
The Colts on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be third and a mile. A shotgun snap for one. And that will be incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Pitch down. 185.
Check pass, check pass.
Carr now on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up second and 10.
Out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field.
Carr on the give. It's Washington. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on that one as it brings up a third and 10. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do, and right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Throwing his Carr on third down. And a double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Drop deep, drop deep.
After the interception, it's long. Ebron with it over the middle. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession. He has not had the start to this game that he envisions here in the second quarter. He's struggling a little bit. But, hey, they're in the lead right now. So, kind of what's going on in his head, do you think, Charles?
I think that's what he has to keep in mind. Winning the ball game is not going the way he wants in terms of his own play. But, oh, yeah, that's right, winning the ball game. So don't press. Don't try and do things outside of what's going on right now. Don't try to increase your game or get yourself right. Just make sure you continue to lead your ball club and keep them moving in the right direction.
Well, they've got that lead so far. One interception for him, no touchdown passes. On second down, Washington. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
The Raiders on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time it's 3rd and 3. Carr. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 12 yards that time at an Oakland first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Down. 180. 180. We're good. We're good. 280. White.
They'll run on first down. Washington. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
29.
53.
Small.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room. 53's the mic. 53. Check 53. Oh, yeah.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Carr. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. The linebacker, Darius Leonard, applied the heat.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
Night, sweetheart.
To throw, it's Carr. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Danico Autry providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Marlon Mack now heading back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore. Or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
They get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Down the gun. Oh, this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Now Sturgis on to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Colts getting ready to go. Luck, and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Fresh off the pick six, it's Lott. He's going to go deep for Funchess. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick six on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackle.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for last yardage.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the 16, Carr. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. Here's the Raiders punter now, as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Let's take it inside his own 40. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
But that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
And he gives it to Funchess complete. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. That's complete to Cobb. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. From the red zone now. Batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Now Washington, and they'll get him down up past the 15. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Down. You wide 88. Check 55, Mike. I'm on. 29. Mike 55. Mike 55.
On first down. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Justin Houston
That's how we do it.
in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
93. 93. Hey, team 6. Team 6. Here I come again. Here I come again.
Now Carr. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. This time they stay on the ground. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's the Raiders punter now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll start out west at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, and it's the Titans on top as that one draws close to halftime. Marcus Mariota, 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head up the Pacific Coast to Seattle. Check on the Seahawks at home at CenturyLink Field. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. The Dolphins trying to hold on and claim victory. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they were losers in that game as they fall to the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, excellent in the victory as his guys up their record to 7-2 now on the year. In our game, it's been the play of Derek Carr that's led the way. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators. Brandon Godden, and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome. Welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line.
We got this.
And now Derek Carr, he is the focus of our player spotlight. And this is, unfortunately for him, a montage he's probably not going to want to keep here for his files.
And I'm not so sure that he would describe it as a spotlight, although it is beating down on him pretty well, as is the rush. He's been hit, harassed, uncomfortable. It's been a really, really tough day for him.
Been sacked 6 times. See all that pressure coming from all angles.
He's coming.
They go with Washington to begin the drive. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
I'm coming after you.
From the 29, Carr. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked by Pierre Desir. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on second and goal? They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's second and goal. Second and goal from inside the 5. Here's Lott. Well, he's got his tight end. That's Ebron, and it's a Colt touchdown. Ebron with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are back within a single score. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. Perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT, and that slices the lead down to 17-10. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And they'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Get ready.
So here are the Raiders now to take over. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them. And they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row. They'll start the drive with Washington. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Here we go, here we go.
Carr going to throw. He's got this complete to Marcel Aitman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On play action, now Carr sliding out of the pocket. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. To throw again on 2nd down. Carr got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. On first down, it's Washington. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down at the Colts 38.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll run it here with P-Ryan. And he's taken down inside the 30. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
Check 53. Watch the pass. 49. Check 49. Check 49.
Hey, 734.
Check 53's mine. Check 53.
Carr now on first down. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. So on the big tight end, hold it.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
53. Mike 53. And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strip.
734.
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Watch the slang.
Shotgun now for Carr. Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Danico Autry picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. To throw his Carr. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Justin Houston, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And no move to pull Carr and the offense off. They're going to go on 4th down.
Watch the screen.
Carr going to go on 4th down. He's going to launch this thing right downfield. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Kenny Moore.
Dude, we can't get stopped. You see me out here? That's right. We can't
On
get
4th
stopped.
down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down. Where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
They'll start on the ground with Matt. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. That's good for an Indianapolis 1st down on a gain of 10. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept their minute by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Come on, QB, come on.
Here's Lott. Funches has it complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
53, Mike, 53.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Lott. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton.
That's it, baby.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Throwing on 3rd down. Lott. And he's got his man Hilton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That's good for an Indianapolis 1st down on a gain of 10. Luck now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now Luck. It's caught by Funches. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Check out. 90. We want it. Come to my work.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Luck firing quickly here, and that's complete. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Luck. He took that in one-handed. What a grab. He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for 2nd down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum right there.
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing. I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Luck able to get this one to Mack. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He'll have the win at his back here in the 4th quarter. Vinatieri's kick is good, and that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense, and they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively, it kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about. But as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
Carr now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Carr gives it off to Washington. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Mike, coming to you, coming to you.
Staying on the ground with Washington. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have.
That's our ball, baby. Going the other way.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game, but they were in what was really called 4-minute offense, and that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they load him up because he's helped them out.
And now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Even. 4 down. Even.
Second and 10, lock again. Complete to Hilton. That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with his 4-point fourth-quarter lead.
Don't be mad.
The Colts on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. A shotgun snap for Love. Pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Now last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Try to atone for it here on this drive. Now a 1st down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for a loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take him off and throw him as far away as possible. Because right now
look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
all you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. After the interception, it's Love. And this will complete right side to Funchess. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Luck gets this one off to Matt. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Back to throw. They'll run the screen with Mack. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
Come on now, let's go.
Well, just kicking a field goal there, that's a decision that could be open to second guessing. You know, you're trying to get back within a field goal, but it didn't work out as planned.
And now you're banking on your defense to be motivated enough to get out there and get the ball back for you. I think if that ball goes through the post, the defense is naturally motivated, even elevated in their mission. Now, they've got to find a way to dig down deep and get it done.
Easy, kill.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat.
Push it on.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darius Leonard able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
Throwing on second and long. Washington's got it. And all is going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On the draw, Hunter leads to Washington. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. On 2nd and 11 now. Carr, and it's complete. The tight end Deion Sims. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd.
Hey, we're good. You ready? Express.
Hey, Foxtrot. 53, Mike.
Hey, you ready?
Carr to throw. Got a man. It's Aikman complete. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Martin. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Running it, Washington. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
Oh, Brandon, I'm going to tell you, this is football time to me. They're inside the 10-yard line. That's like drawing the line in the sand. Who's going to make the stand here? Defensive guys, they know if he gets in the end zone, this ball game is over. The guys with the football right now.
And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Point after now from Sturgis. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a Doug Martin touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Andrew Luck in the offense. Down by 11, a little under 50 seconds to go. They've won 3 in a row, but they've got work to do if they want to get a 4th in a row as they come up on first down. Luck on first down. Brown with it over the middle. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Throwing again on second down. Luck.
One of the things you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage through the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going. Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
All day, defense, all day, all day.
Here's Martin. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Here we go, here we go.
Again, it's Martin. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
Let's go, let's do this.
So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow, and for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour. And something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked free, they want all those guys to be familiar with touching the ball so they could pick up the fumble or get the interception. And we saw it pay off in this one here.
Yeah, 5 times. They'll remember this one. So for the Raiders, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they'll lose an important